Surrender becomes so much easier when you realize the fleeting nature of all experiences, and that the world cannot give you anything of lasting value. You then continue to meet people, to be involved in experiences and activities, but without the wants and fears of the egoic self. That is to say, you no longer demand that a situation, person, place or event should satisfy you or make you happy. Its passing and imperfect nature is allowed to be. And the miracle is that when you are no longer placing an impossible demand on it, every situation, person, place or event becomes not only satisfying, but also more harmonious, more peaceful. When you completely accept this moment, when you no longer argue with what is, the compulsion to think lessens and is replaced by an alert stillness. You are fully conscious, yet the mind is not labeling this moment in any way. This state of inner non-resistance opens you to the unconditioned consciousness that is infinitely greater than the human mind. This vast intelligence can then express itself through you and assist you, both from within and from without. That is why, by letting go of inner resistance, you often find circumstances change for the better. Am I saying, enjoy this moment, be happy? No. Allow the suchness of this moment. That's enough. Surrender is surrender to this moment, not to a story through which you interpret this moment and then try to resign yourself to. For instance, you may have a disability and can't walk anymore. The condition is as it is. Is your mind now creating a story that says, "This is what my life has come to. I've ended up in a wheelchair. Life has treated me harshly and unfairly. I don't deserve this." Can you accept the isness of this moment and not confuse it with the story the mind has created around it? Surrender comes when you no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Even within the seemingly most unacceptable and painful situation is concealed a deeper good, and within every disaster is contained the seed of grace. Throughout history, there have been women and men who, in the face of great loss, illness, imprisonment, or impending death, accepted the seemingly unacceptable, and thus found the peace that passeth all understanding. Acceptance of the unacceptable is the greatest source of grace in this world. There are situations where all answers and explanations fail. Life does not make sense anymore. Or someone in distress comes to you for help, and you don't know what to do or say. When you fully accept that you don't know, you give up struggling to find answers with a limited thinking mind. And that is when a greater intelligence can operate through you. And even thought can then benefit from that, since the greater intelligence can flow into it and inspire it. Sometimes surrender means giving up trying to understand and becoming comfortable with not knowing. Do you know of someone whose main function in life seems to be to make themselves and others miserable, to spread unhappiness? Forgive them, for they too are part of the awakening of humanity. The role they play represents an intensification of the nightmare of egoic consciousness, the state of non-surrender. There is nothing personal in all this. It is not who they are. Surrender, one could say, is the inner transition from resistance to acceptance, from no to yes. When you surrender, your sense of self shifts from being identified with a reaction or mental judgment to being the space around the reaction or judgment. It is a shift from identification with form, the thought or the emotion, to being and recognizing yourself as that which has no form, spacious awareness. Whatever you accept completely will take you to peace, including the acceptance that you cannot accept, that you are in resistance. Leave life alone. Let it be.